Well, what is going on, Bam Slam fam? Holy cow. You can apply holy cow to so much. It's Costa, it's Fletch, it's Ali Rat, and yes, this is another edition of the Bam Slam podcast. Our first since... When did we last do one? Right as the baseball season was opening up?
No, later than that, because we did.
No, the Padres sucked by the time we were doing podcasts.
I think the last one we did wasn't it at McGregor's?
It was at McGregor's.
I think that was the last one.
We had another great chill evening at McGregor's. And again, we thank Ian and his family for their support of the Bam Slam podcast like they did. Love it down there. How you guys been? There's so much stuff going on right now. It really is hard to keep track of what's going on.
College football has completely lost its mind. Deion Sanders is the number one story in the world. Costa, I get to talk to you every Saturday night during Aztecs broadcast. Ali, I miss your beautiful face. Life is insane right now.
I think it's one of the funnest, sports times of the year, though, when you have baseball kind of ramping up towards playoffs, and when you have college football starting and NFL starting finally after the horrendous long preseason. I just think it's a fun time of year for people who love sports.
Costa, you gonna sing your song?
What song?
We're not gonna do any sort of show tomorrow. It's the most wonderful time of the year.
It is the most wonderful time of the year. But Ben, I was thinking this morning when I got up, knowing that we were going to be podcasting, what would I say to you if I was still doing the morning show when I walked into the studio?
Oh my God, Fletch, it's almost over.
I can't believe it's here. I can't believe it's almost over. And then, Ali, I would go in there and say that to him every single Monday morning. Shit, I can't believe week 3 or 4, it's almost over.
You've done it. You've done it with the podcast too.
I know.
We're gonna have to talk about the Padres soon.
Okay, you know what? Let's just. We've got a bowl full of diarrhea. Let's just flush it and get it out of the way so we can talk NFL and college football. The most disappointing Padres season, I think, in a long, long time. And don't anybody out there watching, don't preach to me about the last couple of games against the Giants and the Phillies. It's like, where was this? Where was this in May, June, and July?
Look, I said it on this podcast. I said it on the radio show. I feel like I have to stick by it. If the Padres miss the postseason this year, it'll be the most disappointing season a baseball team has had in recent memory. Because of what they did in the offseason, because of how many people they have on this team, and because of the investment Peter Seidler made in it. I mean, I feel like every single person on this baseball team, A, owes an apology to Peter Seidler, and B, owes an apology to the 3 million plus fans that have walked through Petco Park's doors.
Yeah, record. I don't know. I think that the expectations were so high, and we were all, well, at least me. I mean, I was so convinced like this was going to be the most amazing, fun summer, fun season, incredible progress for this franchise, all of it. And to see it be, to not even ever win 4 in a row, to not win one extra innings game, to have this great run differential, all these things, and yet they couldn't. I mean, even today, last night was great. Today, they get 2 hits. I mean, it's terrible. But I have people are blaming the chemistry or somebody's personality. I don't think that's any of it. I mean, we have had some injuries with Darvish and Joe Musgrove and Cronenworth and things like that, but I don't think I think there maybe is some chemistry issues, but I don't think it's among the players. I think it's someone else.
Edgar Miller?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
he's
there's
got.
big problems all the way through the culture of this organization, and there's nowhere else to point at this point. I mean, how
I
many
don't,
wins
I,
has he
yeah,
had?
I do not think it's Bob Melvin. I feel sorry for him in so many ways. I feel like he's had his hands tied. I think he's handed a lineup every day. You know, there's certain people, Rich Hill, like, excuse me, why? I mean, I'm sure he's a very nice man, but why is he on the team? Matt Carpenter, same thing. Like, what are we doing here? And I feel like somebody is pulling those strings and saying, this is who's going to play today, or this is who's going to pitch today. And I don't think he's a manager. I think maybe he's a GM, a great evaluator of talent, but I don't think he's the clubhouse manager or shouldn't act as if he is. Sorry.
I'm so immune to it, and I'm so numb to it, and it's just, oh yeah, again, let's get back to the sacred burial ground that San Diego's first structure was built on. Back when the Germans found it and named it after a whale's vagina. I don't know the history. I'm not surprised, and I think there's a lot of prima donnas on this baseball team, and yet you look at that big four, and it's just kind of like, you are so freaking disappointing, and to suddenly come to life and to suddenly act like you care because it's September. And if I'm Bob Melvin, I have 1 foot out the door, and I'm praying to God I get fired, because if you're going to deal with AJ Preller, and then you're going to deal with the friggin' egos and the money that some of those guys in that clubhouse are making, I wouldn't want to be here. I posted a meme that said, it's a picture of Bob Melvin, and he's asking a reporter, "Oh, do you have a skillet? Oh, like with you? Yeah, can you hit me in the effing head with it and put me out of my misery?" But they're a
Casa, I've had a question for you for a while. Since Elon Musk took over Twitter and renamed it X, are you allowed on that platform again?
Oh yeah, I'm back
For now.
for now.
Are you going to stay back?
What? Huh?
Are you going to stay back?
It just all depends. However the mood hits me. If someone does being mean to an animal or something like that, it's kind of hard to, that's what normally gets me suspended. But this is my 5th time, so we'll and a lot allowed on is being allowed on X. So I think I am. I think I'm good to go.
Is this your new username, Al Davis Forever?
That's it. That's it.
I was looking for you during the Aztecs broadcast on Saturday, and I'm not going to put that on the station Twitter account.
No.
But
I did.
So here's the issue with the Bob Melvin, AJ Preller, Peter Seidler, whatever this trifecta is going on, because I think there's been some. Darren Smith pointed it out, between Bob Melvin and AJ Preller, there's obviously a rift right now. What I would say is, if Bob Melvin is out the door, who the hell's going to want this job? And it's not going to be another Bob Melvin. Bob Melvin's one of the most respected managers in all of Major League Baseball. You're going to get another AJ Preller yes man. This situation is not going to get any better, and the Padres are doomed to repeat this next year. Now, there can't possibly be as bad next year, right? Right? Well, they can if the culture still sucks. And I don't see what's going to change that.
No, Allie, I know you have thoughts. This is my only thing. As long as AJ Preller's here, this team ain't going nowhere. So if Bob Melvin is gone, you might as well bring back Jace Tingler. You might as well bring back Andy Green. People are talking about, well, we need a guy like Joe Madden, or we need Buck Showalter, or whatever. Those guys aren't going to put up with any of AJ Preller's bullshit. So, go. Hey, at the last game of the season, have a raffle. Whoever's name is called, you get to be the manager next year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you have to put up with it if you're the manager, and that's how what are you going to do? Otherwise you're going to get fired, which is what I think Bob Melvin has been dealing with. And I think his hands have been tied. It's not that I think he's a pushover and just takes it. I think it's just I think you get into the job, and then suddenly you're kind of into it, and then you realize,
Yeah, Yeah.
I don't know. I think we have a lot of good players. I feel differently about the egos that you're talking about and stuff. I just feel differently about that. I've seen too many things where I don't necessarily agree with that. But
I don't know the ego is the problem. I think Manny Machado is a problem this year because last year Manny Machado was fantastic, and early in the year he had incredible statistics. He was playing at an MVP level, and I think that his leadership really shined towards the end of the season when they did go into a funk. He pretty much single-handedly dragged them out of it. Right after Tatis, we learned about the not steroids or whatever it was, but this year, Manny Machado started off so slow that I think he got into a funk early on, and I think that funk kind of spread throughout the clubhouse. I do think, whether he likes it or not, he is the moral compass, the heartbeat of this team, and I think he's just done a bad job of being that guy this year. So not only have his statistics struggled, but his mentality and his facial expressions, everything about Manny Machado this year has just been shoulders down. It sucks to see because it feels like the rest of the team adopted it.
I feel like he's maybe been playing with some sort of injury.
For sure.
You know,
he was last year too.
True. I don't know. I don't know that if that's. I mean, I look at what Kim's been able to do, and he's a real big Manny guy. I don't know. I don't.
Hassan's been awesome. In fact, he's really
incredible.
come into his own. Where I would pay that man 6 years, $25 million a year. Not $25 million a year. Sorry,
well,
but 15 million a year.
What do we do?
I would pay Hassan Kim, absolutely. And I would try to lock him up, make him a Padre for life.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know what we're going to do about like Blake Snell. I hate to see him leave, but he probably will. But that's a shame, especially if he ends up winning the Cy Young. I mean, which he very well could. It'd be a shame to see him go, but I don't know. Hader, I feel a little differently about him. I think he's great. I think we can find another closer maybe that won't be so expensive. But again, it's not my money, and Peter Seidler doesn't seem to be afraid to. I can't say that when I see people say that kind of stuff or post out like, well, where are they going to get the money? Well, I don't think people should be worried about where Peter Seidler gets his money.
Yeah, I think the Blake Snell thing, now he came out and said he would love to stay a Padre.
Yeah, he did. Mm-hmm.
That makes a lot of sense if he gets paid for it, but he's going to be one of the top paid free agent pitchers in all of Major League Baseball, and I don't see him taking a hometown discount.
And if the Mariners, if the Mariners come close, he'll go because I think he wants to go home.
And then the Juan Soto reporting. Did you see the Hector Gomez report that the Padres and Boris might be trying to enter discussions or something? Scott Boras ain't taking a deal early. He's going to let Juan Soto play all of next season to rack up as many stats as he can and try to get the value as high as possible before he makes any sort of deal.
Unless Juan Soto says, I want to be here. Like, you know, he loves evidently where he lives on Coronado. He sort of fallen in love with it here. So unless he says, this is where I want to be, but does he really want to be here? I don't know. I mean, as far as being a Padre, like, and yes, it's easy to love San Diego living here, but I don't know because
not play here.
Yeah, true. That's a very good point. And I don't know if unless something major, whatever this problem is, and I swear I think it's, or I think it is. I don't know.
Yeah. That will conclude Padres and podcast.
I mean, do you guys remember how much fun it was last year when we beat the Dodgers in the playoffs? Like, I'm so sad that we aren't going to get that again this year.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
But what are you? You're 19 out. Are you still 6.5 out of the wild card?
Yeah.
I think they're.
Yeah, sorry. Again.
Yeah. I think 7.5.
Quintessential Padres. 7.5. Okay. Let's get hot.
Something like that.
Right. Please get hot so we can start running the advertisements to, hey, renew your season tickets. They're 10% higher, by the way. And then have the audacity to run those ads. Only a couple of homestands left to come out and cheer on the Padres. I'd rather sit there and stab myself in the eye with a fork than pay money to go see them.
Sorry.
Good.
Yeah, I've been saying it all year, or at least since they really started struggling, that they're going to wait until they're officially eliminated to go on their first 4-game winning streak, and it feels like
Oh,
that's
Well, we
Yeah.
have like after the Astros this weekend and then the Dodgers, we have like the A's and the White Sox, and they go on a little.
yeah.
They're gonna
perfect.
come within like one game or something crazy.
Right.
Yeah. Bring the gold.
All right, so
Bring the-
tomorrow night kicks off the 2023 NFL season. Detroit Lions, Kansas City Chiefs. We got drama recently with Travis Kelce and the knee. A lot of people picked him in fantasy football. A lot of people picked Cooper Kupp in fantasy football, and those people are clawing their eyeballs out, much like Costa watching the San Diego Padres.
Yeah.
Oh, now what is the latest on Kelsey's knee? Is
It's
it
a bone bruise, so no ACL, MCL, PCL damage. It's going to be how much pain can you deal with. Bone bruises suck, and it's going to
Yep.
bother him probably for the first 3 or 4 weeks of the season if he doesn't hurt it even further. I think the risk for re-injury is pretty minimal unless the same thing happens again, which it easily could. So, I mean,
Yeah.
it stinks for him, especially for that to happen in the week that everyone's supposed to get healthy before the season after coming off the preseason. Like,
Yeah.
that's why the
Right.
NFL put that week in there, which is so insane to me.
Yeah. That was a shame to read that, but I don't know. I think it's going to be an interesting season. I think there's some teams that haven't done well in recent years that maybe are going to, I don't know. I know everybody's on kind of the Lions train, so we'll see, but I think it's going to be fun this year.
Oh, this is going to be an awesome season.
I think so too.
It is because
For
obviously-
the Raiders are going to blow, but
you know how to blow.
You think they are?
like-
I guess.
What?
You think they're not going to be good?
I think the Raiders
Raiders are going to suck.
are not. I think they're going to be. They're going to be improved. Are they going to be improved enough to suddenly overtake the Chiefs for the division? No, but I think they're going to be. I think they've caught the Chargers, and I think they're going to be a shit ton better. Anybody in the AFC West is going to be a shit ton better than the Broncos. Although.
Oh no.
Okay. Did he say that the Raiders are going to come out on top of the Chargers?
Yeah, so then he said something about Broncos, and then he disappeared.
Like the Broncos are going to be terrible. Granted, Costa, you're about to be muted,
Wow.
but the Chargers are definitely going to outperform the Raiders this year.
And
Bullshit.
Sean Payton doesn't seem to think his Broncos are going to be bad, making all those predictions and coming after the Jets.
Sean Payton makes the Broncos the wild card because obviously he's the best coach they've had there in 10 years maybe. Now, can he take an old bag of bones like Russell Wilson and suddenly help him find the fountain of youth?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
He'll
think
build. He's built.
Russ is broken, dude. I don't know if he
Yeah.
can come back from that. Like he's gonna be better this year than he was last year. But do you see the Seth Wickersham article that came out this morning, where Sean Payton was quoted saying Russ needs to stop fucking kissing babies and doing the politician thing. He needs to just go out there and get back to work because he's doing the me. I'm gonna be the guy who's in front of the mic saying "Let's ride." I'm gonna be the rah guy. It's like, no, you're not good enough to be that guy. Go back to work.
Mhm. I'm really curious to see. Like, I think the Rams are going to be terrible, and I'm really curious to see how the Chargers will be. I think I know I shouldn't like anything Chargers, but I do like Justin Herbert. But I don't know. I don't know. Kellen Moore, I think he'll be a good offensive coordinator. I just don't know if I believe in Brandon Staley as their head coach.
The Chargers, and stop me if you've heard this before, have a roster to win a Super Bowl, and they're not going to make the playoffs.
It's what I think too. I think you're right.
They don't have a head coach who's he still thinks he's the smartest guy in the room, unfortunately. But I do say the addition of Kellen Moore is awesome for them and that guy's going to be a head coach in the NFL maybe next year.
Maybe halfway through the season.
That guy put Zeke Elliott as the center in a playoff game. Kellen Moore.
I will say
Maybe
this.
I'm way off, but Kellen Moore doesn't seem like that fixes anything.
You talk about Travis Kelce and the knee injury, and you still have Patrick Mahomes, and Patrick Mahomes hasn't even reached his peak yet. You got Andy Reid, but I just have a sneaky suspicion something is going to happen to the Chiefs this year, and it's going to crater their season. And but I think they have one of those. Remember, the one year Tom Brady, it was the first or second game of the year he blew his knee out, and the Pats season just went to shit. And I'm not wishing an injury on Patrick Mahomes or anything like that, but I think something's going to happen to that football team where it's just like, well, we've been in the Super Bowl the last, 3 years in a row or whatever. We're allowed to have a down year. Something tells me that's going to happen this year in the AFC West.
Well, that would be the thing, right? It would be Patrick Mahomes being injured because Travis Kelce, even if he misses every game this year, I would still say the Chiefs win the AFC West and get to another AFC Championship game. Like, if Patrick Mahomes goes down, that's the only way something bad happens. Now, maybe they have some bad juju with this Chris Jones thing, who's now saying he's probably going to hold out till the trade deadline. That's insane to me.
I can't believe that either.
Yeah, I mean, at least Nicky Bosa got signed today. But that's probably who we should be talking. Nick Bosa is now the highest paid defensive player in NFL history by a long shot. He got like 122 guaranteed, 157 or something total.
Yeah.
Seriously. It was crazy. But the young quarterbacks going into this season, because Aaron Rodgers is the only one of the old guard left, but we got Justin Herbert, who I agree, Allie, he is fantastic. And if the Chargers do anything, it's because of him. Joe Burrow, who is the opposite of Russell Wilson. He is just Mr. Cool all the way around. My wife is in love with Joe Burrow.
He's a
Patrick Mahomes, Trevor Lawrence, who might be on into a breakout year. Josh Allen's great. Jalen Hurts, who, Costa, your prediction about the Chiefs is my prediction about the Eagles. I think they might be in for one of those years where something bad happens.
No way. I think their defense. I don't know. I think
their defense is great. I'm worried about Jalen Hurts.
Really?
Yeah, I just have the same feeling Costa has about the Chiefs. I have that about Jalen.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay, sticking in the NFC, what do you make of Justin Fields? Does he take that leap, or have we seen the body of work of who he's going to be?
I think he's a really good fantasy football quarterback.
I just think overall, I don't know that he has a lot to work with. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, people love the Bears right now, and I'm not sure I understand it.
Same.
What all the young quarterbacks who are starting, and let's start with Bryce Young, who looks like a little kid got hold of his dad's helmet and his pads and went out to his dad's professional practice.
So now we know he's tiny, and he looks tiny behind that offensive line. We do know out of the quarterbacks who were drafted this year, he is by far the most accurate and probably the most seasoned passer. I just worry he has a little bit of Tua, and I don't know if he's going to be able to stay upright.
That's what I was going to say, too. To be able to stay, to avoid injury with at that size, at that position, it's going to be. I hope he has a good lineup.
Yep.
Anthony Richardson has been quite the popular pick in fantasy football drafts, especially dynasty leagues. People seem to think that he is going to be around for a while. I don't get that one either.
What about C.J. Stroud?
Oof. If the Cardinals aren't the worst team in the league, the Texans are.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Cardinals, though, are. I don't know.
The Cardinals situation is so baffling to me because 2 years ago, it seemed like the Cardinals were on this direction, right? On the right trajectory. They hire the head coach, Cliff Kingsbury. Kyler Murray looks really good. They bring in DeAndre Hopkins, J.J. Watt. And then to get to this, they are the worst team in the NFL, maybe of the last decade.
Yeah, terrible. Terrible.
What did J.J. Watt do anything?
He got some tackles.
He sold tickets.
Yeah.
And
I think he wanted to move to Arizona anyways, and so now he's there.
Yeah. I listen, I look at the Buffalo Bills having got as close as they are, and I just look at that coaching, I look at that look at the ownership, general manager, coaching staff. and I look at that team, and I think, Allison, you wanted us to make predictions, for what's going to happen. I think the Bills get over the Chiefs hump
Me
this
too.
year.
Yep.
And I think the Bills get to the Super Bowl. The NFC to me is Ben, you mentioned Jalen Hurts, and if he stays healthy, that's a loaded Eagles team. But look at all the other teams in the NFC and what they've got on. And, you could say, oh, what about Green Bay Pack? Okay, no, Aaron, what about so it's hard. It's
I think
super
you're forgetting a pretty important team in the NFC.
I'm not. I know exactly who you're going to say.
The
Like, how are
49ers.
you not talking about the 49ers? They have the number 1 ranked offense in the league. They have the
Listen,
number
if-
2 ranked defense.
Yeah.
The only reason I didn't bring up 49ers first was because, this can Brock Purdy string a bunch of wins together for them. And if he is able to do it, no, I'm not surprised that the 49ers are in the Super Bowl against the Bills. Not at all. I think I would love it if the 49ers.
I do think that this quarterback position, I mean, the AFC quarterbacks are
So good.
so good.
So good.
I mean, so much better than the NFC quarterbacks.
We haven't even brought up the Bengals, and Joe Burrow has potential to be the best one in the AFC. And I know that's sacrilege talking about someone over Patrick Mahomes, but Joe Burrow is so good at football.
Well, that's how I feel about the Bills and Josh Allen too. Like, I think,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I think I'm predicting, and you guys haven't mentioned this team yet, but this is my prediction for Super Bowl this year. I think it's going to be Cowboys Bills.
Wow.
Cowboys.
I think they're going to get over a hump this year.
Cowboys.
That Brandon Cooks, I just think they're going to get over a hump this year, and I think they're going to beat the Eagles in their division. And I think it'll come. I think Cowboys. I don't know. 49ers seem to have their number though, so we'll see when it comes playoff time. But that's my prediction.
Cowboys are really good at winning 11 games during the regular season and losing to the 49ers in the playoffs.
I know, and I agree with that. But remember, Mike McCarthy's calling the plays now. I think it'll be a little different.
And we're saying that's a good thing that Mike McCarthy's calling the plays.
I think it's good. I like him. I like Mike.
It is such a crapshoot because.
All right, make your predictions, and I'm gonna write them all down, and then we'll see at the end of the year who got the closest.
So,
Okay.
My Cowboys Bills.
Okay.
I don't hate that pick because I do the Cowboys defense. I adore.
Mhm.
I think
Micah Parsons, the guy's a beast.
I agree.
He's going to end up being the highest paid defensive player probably next
One
year.
other team that I love as a dark horse out of the NFC this year before I make my Super Bowl prediction, because it's not them, but watch out for MVP Kirk Cousins this season.
Yeah, I could see the Vikings. Yep.
I've said that a couple times and it kind of get laughed off, but MVP Kirk Cousins might be coming his way. Just the rookie they drafted, wide receiver Jordan Addison, to be number 2 to Justin Jefferson, who is the best receiver in football without a question.
Mm-hmm.
They might have the most dangerous passing attack in the NFL. And Kirk isn't bad. He gets a bad rap. He's a pretty damn good quarterback. KOC year 2. I love Kevin. I wish he was the Niners head coach.
Did you guys quarterbacks? Kirk Cousins was so good.
Yeah. I thought Kirk Cousins was great in that show.
I did too. I really liked him in that. I liked the whole show. I thought it was really well done. But so far they can only find Joe Burrow to say yes for next season. So I don't know.
That's all they need. Just leave the cameras on him. Don't bring anyone else.
That's true.
Yeah, you know what?
Super Bowl
I think
prediction, Ali.
Yep. Who do you have?
Niners, Bengals.
Okay.
okay.
All right.
Costa's gonna say the Raiders.
No. I think you know what? It's funny because I've been thinking about the Vikings, and because they got a taste last year, especially a taste in KOC's first season as head coach. And I'll tell you a little story. I have a client in Minnesota,
Oh, do you?
and so I texted KOC and said, "Hey, if I send you a helmet, would you autograph it for me? I'll, send it to her." And he texts me right back. He goes, dude, anything for you, of course. He goes, here's my assistant's number. So what's wrong?
It's nothing. Keep going.
No, are you mad or what?
No, I'm not mad. I just that's the most Mike Costa story I've ever heard.
So
I texted my good friend Kevin O'Connell. Have you heard of him? The head coach of the Minnesota Vikings. I don't know. He was an Aztec quarterback.
anyhow, so he goes, here's my assistant's number, call her. So I call her the next day and she goes, oh my God. She goes, Coach grabbed a helmet out of the equipment room and he autographed it. And I just need to know the address to mail it. Because I thought I'll go out and buy a helmet and all this. And he licked it. And
Aw.
I was talking with her and she goes, you don't know how much people around here love him and his family. And he said, they're out there. They do everything. They're just so approachable. He goes, and she said, this team loves him. So I'm
I
going
believe that.
to put my big freaking money where my mouth is and say it's going to be a Buffalo Bills, Minnesota Vikings Super Bowl.
I like it.
Are you going to go to the
And
Super
the good
Bowl?
news, yeah, I do. I'm actually going to work it for Westwood One, so I'm all set.
Are you really
Yeah,
doing what? Sidelines?
yeah, sideline stuff, whatever they need.
Nice.
Badass.
You know what's cool about that Super Bowl is finally one of those teams gets over the hump. They both have lost 4 Super Bowls each, and I think that would be a just an awesome storyline going in. So I've drug it out far enough. I'm going to go Bills, Vikings, Allison. Write it down.
I don't hate that pick. I like that pick.
Yeah.
I mean, the
Yeah, I do
Vikings
too.
would have some work to do in the postseason, but I like that pick.
Mhm.
Yeah, they would. But definitely.
That was hot.
Yeah, thank you. What do we think about?
Well,
What,
Can I argue the Vikings point real quick?
go ahead.
Kirk Cousins in big games. I know I just said MVP Kirk Cousins this year, but that's
Now I
regular
saw
season.
good.
That's regular season. I don't know about postseason. I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, well, we don't know until they get there. And
Yeah.
I
we know
do.
there's
I think that offense is going to be electric this year. They still don't have a defense.
yeah. We'll see.
I'm so excited. Oh, I'm so excited.
Is this whole college season going to be Deion Sanders?
Yeah, they're the only college football team in the world.
Yep. Yep.
I don't know how I feel about it still because I think I like him,
Yeah.
but I also kind of hate him.
Well, 2 of my kids were Buffs.
That's
and
right.
So I'm a big Colorado fan.
I know without a doubt Costa hated every second of his post-game presser.
I'm just because I'm a act like you've been there guy.
Yeah, and
But-
it was so much attacking the journalism. It was so much like
Yeah, that was odd to me because it's not up to a reporter to believe or not believe. Like that's not the role of anybody in media, or it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. Sometimes maybe it is, but it shouldn't be. And so I don't know what that was about. If he wants to say that about the general public or his own fans or whatever, that's fine. But I don't think you yell that at a journalist. And it wasn't Ed Werder, and it was like been around the block a few times. Like I don't
Did you
know.
hear-
That,
Did you hear the
very
part where
odd.
he was like, "Can I ask my question now?"
I
Yeah.
know.
yeah, I think he was like, "What? I mean, I don't know that anybody in Anyway, media
think-
people can make.
I'm adapting to the whole transfer portal thing. It took me a little bit, but I like the transfer portal hell of a lot more than I like what schools are doing right now, which is ruining college football. Like, it just feels like we are so fast-tracked to Steve Hartman's prediction from 3 years ago that it's just going to be 2 conferences of 20, and that's what college football is going to be.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, the super conferences are here, and you look at what happened to San Diego State that morning when they thought they were joining the Pac-12, and the fact that now it's the Pac-2, Oregon State and
Washington State.
Washington State. So we're getting there. The money's just too big, and it's going to be the haves and the have-nots, and
Mhm.
and like
And now, I mean, the Power Four is already here, but eventually it's just going to be the SEC and the Big Ten scooping up everybody,
Mhm.
and then whoever's left is go fend for yourself.
Mhm.
well,
It's bad for college athletics. There is no question, and they won't recover from this.
No, and and let's stop saying the student athlete, please. These are
they're pros.
the minor league players for.
Dude, I'm supporting Aztecs. I have an Aztec link donation monthly. It's like 99 cents, but J.R. Tolver was doing it. He asked me to donate, and I said absolutely. Like I am paying college athletes currently.
Sure. No, I'll tell you what, if I had a business in San Diego, I would be reaching out to somebody on the Aztecs basketball team to be my spokesperson. You know,
Absolutely.
whoever, come on down to Ben Fletcher Chevrolet. I'm going to be out here on Saturday. And check out the new.
Should I open up a Chevy dealership?
Yeah, I do. But like the schools like San Diego State just played, Ohio and Idaho State. Those are the kids are going to go who just love playing football, and Ohio University. Those are all the kids that Ohio State doesn't take, University of Cincinnati doesn't take, et cetera, et cetera. But they're going to be out in the cold. There'll be no money for those programs.
Yeah, and I don't know what's going to happen with San Diego State. Like, is this about to become the Mountain Pack?
Well,
And
those are the conferences you have to kind of worry about are Mountain West, Conference USA.
Yeah.
Some of these kind of outliers that, have been good and fun and, have a following, but they're obviously not the SEC or whatever, but I don't know.
And like the logic for, I think, Aztec fans, rightfully so, would go immediately to, well, why don't you just take the best of the Mountain West, pair it with Oregon State, Washington State, and that's the Pac-12 now.
Right.
The logic I would fight back with is there's a reason Washington State and Oregon State got left behind. It's because they're the two smallest TV markets of the Pac-12.
Yeah.
That's where all this is going. It's TV money. That's what conferences are after. San Diego State is in a good position when it comes to TV money because the market size is big. It's San Diego, as for many years as we've been called a small market town. It's not the case. There's millions of people that live here. So it's not like they're in a terrible spot, but they're not in a great spot right now because if you're the Mountain Pack, you're not in the Power Four, which was the Power Five forever, but it's not anymore. It's just not.
Right.
If you're the thing, and JD Wicker has said this, and he's absolutely right, is San Diego State has done everything they're supposed to do. Facilities, teams wise, your women's sports, your GPAs of these teams. And
you had a basketball team in the fucking national championship game last year.
Right.
So you also have to think in terms of, and I know people hate when we bring this up, but if you're a team in the Big 12 or whatever it is, you love to say to your season ticket holders, hey, we go out to San Diego this year. It's like when teams go out to Hawaii, but there's a shit ton more to do in San Diego than there is Hawaii. So, you're brought in, and I'm sorry if you're brought in just for that being the biggest reason, but if you're at San Diego State, you don't friggin' care.
Oh, you need a seat at the table. That's all that matters. Because it's not just your football program, right? Even though that's where all this is based around, is the fact that these football organizations, because I'm not going to call them teams anymore because it's a business, these football organizations are being brought in for their TV markets, but they're also dragging along basketball, women's basketball, lacrosse, diving, swimming. And the teams that are going to get left out of that big money TV revenue, that money no longer trickles down to those programs. And those athletes no longer get scholarships. And now what's college sports? Well, it's club.
Yeah.
And like Idaho State, it's going to become a club football team before long.
Mural, yeah. And that's disappointing and sad to see for athletes that, maybe that's their only chance. Or, you always hear the stories about the guy who went to some, tiny school and made it.
Austin Eckler.
Yeah, I mean, yes, that's a great example. And I don't know, you just worry that all those sports are going to get left behind without any money. And how are they going to travel?
Yeah.
How, how are they going to have the money to send these teams to, especially teams that are now on the East Coast, they're going to have to go west, or I don't know. It just seems like a huge mess.
So the one real positive I could see for 2024 when it comes to San Diego State, and John Schaefer brought this up first, I had not thought about it. It's the fact that these Pac-12 schools that are now traveling across the country for their, well, not Pac-12 anymore, that are traveling across the country to play their regular season games are going to stay on the West Coast for preseason, non-conference games. So, like, maybe it turns into a situation where San Diego State is playing a USC or a UCLA every single year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know what that does for you. I know it's a hefty check.
Mm-hmm.
Right. No, it's, I was watching. Go ahead, Allison. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just saying it's good experience for the players, heading into a Mountain West season to be playing a UCLA or USC first.
Are we all back? That was weird.
Oh.
Yeah. Everybody kind of froze.
Speaking of, that quarterback is fun to watch.
Who?
The Big Ten
USC quarterback,
Caleb Williams?
Yes.
Yeah, he's fucking awesome.
Oh my
You
God.
think he's going to turn down Arizona if they are tanking for him?
Really?
That's what his dad said like earlier today.
That's funny.
Wait, who are we talking about?
Caleb Williams, USC quarterback.
Oh,
His dad said if Arizona is the one with the number 1 draft pick next year, that they're probably going to go back and play another year of college.
wow. God, these kids have so much power now. It's amazing.
Yeah. And guess what? He's making $2-3 million a year in college. So why does he need to go to the NFL?
Doesn't.
You see him all over the place in that Wendy's commercial.
Yeah. How about the fact that there's some college quarterbacks this year? Now, I know signing bonuses don't count towards this. There are college quarterbacks making more than Trevor Lawrence's this year.
I will say this. Somebody better get hold of some of these college kids who have these big NIL deals and commercials and coach them up a little bit, because there are some where you're like, what did you just say?
Financial managers now also.
That too.
Like, that money should not go in their bank account.
No, not at all. I haven't had a chance to. I didn't watch a lot of college football other than San Diego State, Idaho State this weekend. I watched a little. God, who did I watch on? I can't remember who I watched on Saturday. But
How about those Dukies on Monday, huh?
Yeah. The Colorado. Thanks, buddy. The Colorado TCU game. Colorado's got Nebraska this weekend in Lincoln.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think they play Oregon next, if I'm not mistaken.
They're the only college football team that matters. You're right.
I think the Buffs will beat Nebraska. The litmus test, how legit they are, will come against Oregon.
Yeah, I do.
Yes.
So
I agree
they're
with
going to throw for 500 yards in every single game, and they're not going to care about the run game. They're not going to care about defense. It's literally just going to be offense. And they're probably, like, Deion's going to speak it into existence. Those guys, Travis Hunter? The guy that plays both ways?
Uh-huh.
Him, and then Deion's son, Shador Sanders, they're both going to jump up in the Heisman race.
Oh.
Because he's just going to speak it into existence. And he's going to get all those stats. Like, Shador had 510 passing.
510 yards, I know. It was nuts. And 3 touchdowns. It was crazy.
Can I tell you guys who's going to be a problem in the Mountain West?
Wyoming?
Fresno State and Wyoming. Dude, Fresno State's quarterback looks better than Jake Haener did.
Wait, who'd Wyoming just beat? They beat somebody this weekend.
Their game wasn't as impressive as Fresno State beating Purdue.
But who did Wyoming beat? They beat who?
Texas Tech.
Oh yeah. Yes, Texas Tech in overtime. Yes, that's right.
It's by Texas Tech like 3 times.
I can hear you.
Sucks. We can't hear you.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
We can.
Yes.
Do you have a
Um,
fantasy draft tonight, Costa?
I do 9:00. Thanks,
Where are you
buddies.
picking?
What's his name? What's the Vikings?
No, where are you picking?
Oh, I think I'm number 1. I'm actually number 1. You want to know what the
Go,
name of my?
JJ.
Yeah, you know what the name of my team is?
What?
Sardine Odor.
What?
I don't think I get it.
I don't either. He thinks he's so funny though. Look at him.
It's got to
Perfect.
be okay. It's
No.
got to be something to do with. Never mind.
I think I can figure it out.
You're a disgusting human being, Mike Costa.
I'm changing the subject. Who's your quarterback, Ben? Who'd you draft for quarterback?
Let's see. I'm in 4 leagues this year, which is
Oh, God.
outrageous.
Jesus.
It's gonna be a full-time job.
I know. And
I'm in 1. Who did you draft?
I waited a really long time on my draft last night, and that's a 2 quarterback league, and everyone was taking quarterbacks right away, so I just let them go. And then I ended up with Jared Goff and one of the young guys. Might be Desmond Ritter. I don't know, but it's going to be bad. But the rest of my team is stacked. Today I went a little quicker, and I took Kirk Cousins.
I have
Nice.
Herbert and Goff.
I think Jared Goff is going to have a great year.
Mhm.
Like,
And I think Justin Herbert can put up big numbers too.
He'll be huge. But if you look at Jared Goff's last 6 weeks of the regular season last year, in terms of fantasy points, he was like 25 every game.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the Lions have
Yeah.
only gotten better.
Yeah, Lions are going to be good.
Jahmyr
Okay.
Gibbs, Lions running back, sleeper of the year. Take him in every draft.
All right. I hope they're good. You know, there's certain teams that you just want to see just be, relevant and competitive. And
Every single person on that team is easy to root for, including the coaching staff.
Campbell. Yes.
So I don't know how much Hard Knocks you guys have watched this year, but I've hated every second of it.
Did it?
But-
I didn't watch it.
They are just Aaron Rodgers all day. But
I didn't watch.
it's terrible. Don't watch it. You'll hate it. The Detroit Lions year, though, I couldn't help but root for every single person on that team. And then this year with Aaron Rodgers, it is outrageous what they are doing. He's getting so
Right.
much screen time.
Yeah.
They'll be good. I think the Jets will be improved for sure. But are they? Are they better than the Bills right now? No.
No.
No. The
Guess who
Pats,
Bill Belichick loves beating? He's pretty damn good at it.
Yeah.
Oh, of course. So all I got to say is, Ben, it's here, and I can't believe it's already starting because it's going to be over so fast.
January's going to be here before we know it.
What do you guys got tomorrow night?
That's right. What time? 5:30?
Is anyone taking the Lions tomorrow?
No.
And also, what a fiasco with ESPN for Monday Night Football. They better get Spectrum, better get their act, or Disney or whoever better get their act together so we can watch Monday Night Football at my house. Well, I won't be here. I'll be out of town, but
Illegally stream it. I mean, no, do the right way to do things.
I think Hulu is doing some kind of live thing. I don't know. So they're going to find a way for people. They're not going to miss out on people watching Monday Night Football. It'll probably get settled at the last second.
So hey, if I get NFL ticket, Sunday ticket, do I just have to go to youtube.com and watch it there?
Yeah, I don't know. It's on YouTube TV this year, which is an app you can put on your TV.
Okay.
But for what I'm doing for Sundays is the NFL Plus, which is $15 a month. You get Red Zone for it. So that'll go on the main TV, just Red Zone, and then second TV, which comes out during football season,
Right.
will just be plugged straight into my laptop, and it is
Gotcha.
that.
Will you send me that information?
Yeah.
I'm disappearing in the dark. I don't have my ring light on, so I'm like, hello, can you see me? It's getting dark outside.
I need to run. And Costin,
Okay, wait, I have to say something.
Go.
Go follow us on Instagram, please, and follow our sponsors, McGregor's and Synergy Med Spa. Please go and support those guys. There's new stories up where we're supporting them. So go give them some love.
and those are all our handles at Fletch Sports, at AlleyRat7, at Al Davis Forever. This is going to be your main place to consume us, Bam Slam Pod on YouTube, and hope you're with us all the time.
And we'll be much more regular, everybody. You're
Yeah.
welcome.
We promise.
I have to rein these two in from their busy lives and say, we need to do our podcast.
Bam,
And if you
Bam,
want
Bam.
to listen to Costa, Ali, you'll love this. I'm hosting postgame for Aztecs now, and Costa's been jumping on for the first 5 minutes every week.
I love it. When are
Why?
you guys going to get me bring me up into the booth or into the press box?
Anytime.
I'll come with you.
Costa has the power to do that.
Can I be your spotter or something?
You probably could. You probably could as you disappear into the darkness.
You can see my hair. My hair is so light, it's glowing.
All
All right, everybody.
Long for the ride, and last but not least, you brave men and women of the United States Armed Forces for what you do, what you've done for us.
Bam Slam Bam, we love you.
Mwah.